Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and welcome to the 4th episode of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore Duels series, where I am going back in time to look at some of the decks which I missed out on when I wasn't playing the game, and we're looking at dual terminal decks, and today the focus is on Lavals. Specifically speaking, this is a Laval Resonator deck which works out really well, and one thing which I've learned in my time spent with these older decks is a lot of them are quite out of date. However, they have these engines which can be mixed with newer cards that make them work still somewhat pretty well. And for Lavals, it's all about milling and banishing from the graveyard. We're going to see a little bit more of that in a bit, but right now I'm going to be using Resonators and Primitive Butterfly to make some summons there. And before we get into a bit more of the gameplay, I'm going to talk a bit about their lore. Unfortunately, Lavals don't really have too much lore to kind of speak about. They are present in the dual terminal storyline, and they are a tribe which lived in the Fiery Woodland. They were focused on battling, and they attacked the Gem Knights repeatedly to start a new conflict. And like most other clansmen, the Steelswarm clan decided to attack over the surface land. They did team up by being led by the Vylon clan. They teamed up with the Gem Knights, they teamed up with the Gishkis and other clans in order to take down the Steelswarms. Then the Vylons turned on everyone and tried to wipe out all the clans because they were sick of the fighting, and the Lavals teamed up with the others in order to take out the Vylons. Once the Vylons were defeated, though, there wasn't really much left for the Lavals to do in terms of their new story. They became a power source for the rituals of the Gishki tribe, and that is where Laval chain came from, because he got mixed with Gishki chain. But other than that, that's really kind of where their story ends. No one really knows what happened to the Lavals and what became of them. What we can say is that their powers did get combined with a lot of the other clans. Laval Colto got formed with Gusto Falco to make Die Gusto Phoenix. We have Laval Cannon mixed with Vylon Stella to make Laval Stenon. And Laval Flogis mixed with Gishki Chain to make Laval Val Chain. And Laval Lakeside Lady and Gem Knight Obsidian made Laval Val Ignis. So we do get to see their powers being used in a different way. But other than that, that's really it for their lore. There really isn't too much to say about this clan. What I will say about this clan is that their milling engine and their abilities for sending cards to the graveyard is phenomenal. I think it's actually really good in the current environment, and you may have seen a little bit of what they can do so far in this duel. So looking at this duel here, we currently have a field with two good synchro monsters on the field. One being Cyframe Lord Omega, whose effect we're going to use right now, as my opponent is playing Polymerization. Hopefully we'll be able to use Omega's effect to take one card from my opponent's hand and banish it, and we managed to hit Cannon Soldier. Was not expected to see that at all. Makes me think maybe we're playing some kind of burn variant deck here, or maybe the player that we're playing against is just really new. I chose to use this duelist footage because it really shows off what the Lavals can do, but it is a bit of a quirky duel here, and I'm not sure about the quality of the duelist I'm playing against, so we'll see how this ends up being. We also have Stardust Charge Warrior in the field, who, when Synchro Summon, allows me to draw a card. And now my opponent brings out Blaze Phoenix, the Burning Bombardment Bird. This is a very popular card for burning recently. It manages to do 300 damage to you for every card on the field, and that can really add up quite badly sometimes. And so now my opponent plays Swords of Revealing Light in order to stop me from attacking, and then summons out Charcoal Impachi. Unless he's going to try and burn me this turn, or maybe he's going to attack my monster and try and wipe him out for a bit. Who knows there? But what I love about the Laval so much is their ability to send cards to the graveyard and then manipulate the graveyard and the banished pile. It's going to take a little while before we get to those cards there, but we do have a variety of options of doing so. It's something which I've noticed with a lot of these dual terminal decks, except the Vylons, who personally really are the worst of the bunch. All of these dual terminal decks just have good engines which still can be used well today. And now in this turn here, we're going to bring back Cyframe Lord Omega, give my opponent back his Cannon Soldier, woo, and we're going to start putting some pressure on the field here. I could do a variety of different things here. I really want to get rid of Blaze Phoenix though, because Blaze Phoenix can just burn me from the from its comfort of hiding behind a source of concealing light. So I might play Twin Twister here. I'm not a fan of playing Twin Twister when I can only hit one card on the field, but you know, it's a burn deck. You don't really want to give them the time to get the resources to outstall you, you know. I could wait 3 turns, but a lot could happen in 3 turns. So I am going to play Twin Twister, and we are going to get rid of a card. The card which I'm probably going to get rid of is Laval Cannon, because I can't use his effect just yet, and we have nothing in the graveyard to banish. And Primitive and Red Sprinter are playmakers, and we can use those later on. So now in this battle phase, we're going to go and crash Flame Lord Omega into Blaze Phoenix, and they are going to trade quite evenly, sending them both to the graveyard, but that isn't the last we'll see of Omega. And then Stardust Charge is going to take out Charcoal Impachi. Not sure why he's running Charcoal Impachi. Doesn't really make sense to me. I can't remember what the materials are for Blaze Phoenix. Maybe it's a fusion material for that, so that's why they're running it. But or maybe they just want the 2100 defense for stalling. But I'm not sure why my opponent is using Charcoal Impachi. Now my opponent summons UFO Turtle, and this is an interesting situation we are in here because, well, I'll show you why in a minute. A UFO Turtle has an effect that when it is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one fire type monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to the field, and I believe it has to come out in attack position. My initial reaction to this is thinking, yeah, this is good. Stardust Charge Warrior is able to attack all special summon monsters on the field once per turn. So I'm thinking to myself, I'll attack Turtle, and then maybe when it special summons, I'll get to attack again. But it doesn't seem to be the case though. It doesn't seem to be quite the result we worked out with. So we're letting my opponent search out his monster, and he goes for another copy of Charcoal Impachi, which again, is that a material for Blaze Phoenix? Is that why he keeps summoning it? I'm not sure, but my intentions were to then attack it with Stardust Charge, but seemingly I can't do so. Maybe the monsters had to be already on the field for me to attack again. Maybe I just need to read the card again properly. Maybe I didn't understand it, but I figured that I would be able to attack the special summon monster, so that's a bit of a mistake there. So well, whatever. So over to my opponent's turn now. They have 3 cards in total. Let's see what they've drawn into, if they're able to make any kind of plays here. Or they might just put Impachi into defense and then kind of turtle up for a bit. And he does have 2100 defense, which is a bit higher than my Stardust Charge Warrior. But no, he's going to Tribute Summon into Flame Cerberus. Alright, so now I'm not really sure about the quality of my opponent here, so but Flame Cerberus does have 2100 attack, and he is able to get over Stardust Charge Warrior. I'm not sure why you'd want to play Flame Cerberus, but hey, it's working out for you. This is what I'm talking about when I say that I run into some really random duelists in Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy the Duelist. You never know who you're going to face up against, and that's kind of good. It makes the game diverse. It makes it it adds variety to see all these different decks and people trying to do different things, which is really kind of cool in my opinion. So I actually do like it a little bit there. Okay, over into my turn here. We got Instant Fusion, which is awesome. We can do a whole lot with that. But first, I'm going to summon Red Sprinter. Red Sprinter, when it is normal summon or special summon, you can special summon one level 3 or lower Fiend type tuner monster from your graveyard or your hand. So we are going to go and grab Red Resonator. Red Resonator's effect will now trigger, and that is when it is special summoned, I can choose a monster on the field and gain life points equal to its attack. So we're going to go for the biggest monster, Flame Cerberus, and we're going to gain 2100 life points. Really awesome effect. I love that effect so much. Being able to recover that many life points is like, in some situations it can be a whole turn, so it's really quite cool. Now I'm going to go for Laval Dragon, and Laval Dragon or Dragon. It has the effect that once per turn, you can add one of our monster from your deck to your hand. And the monster which I'm going to use as a target here is Laval Volcano Handmaiden. Laval Volcano Handmaiden has a really cool effect. But now I have to do the second part of Dragon's effect and send one of our monster from my hand to the graveyard. Now I can activate Volcano Handmaiden's effect. And when she is sent to the graveyard, I can send another Laval card from my deck to my graveyard. So I'm going to chain mill here. I'm going to send more copies of Volcano Handmaiden, and with my last Handmaiden in the graveyard, I'm now going to send a copy of Lakeside Lady to the graveyard, which I may be able to use later on to start destroying my opponent's set cards. This is what the deck's all about. It's all about getting these cards into the graveyard ASAP, and then setting them up for further plays later on by recursion from either the Vanish Pile or from the graveyard. Decks like Necrovalley can hurt this deck a bit, but otherwise it's actually really reliable in my opinion. It kind of reminds me of another deck. It reminds me of Volcanics Volcanics have really good graveyard effects too, and free activations in the graveyard, and I should play that deck one day, and one day I will have to go and get to it. Laval Dragon is going to be able to destroy Flame Cerberus quite easily, and now we're going to pass over to my opponent's turn and see what Gator 880 is able to do, or was that Quator? I'm not sure really. Okay, seems like my opponent wasn't really able to do too much. He did normal summon Cannon Soldier. I think I've kind of really pushed him to the limits of the resources here. So we're going to use Dragon's Effect again to do some more milling. There isn't too many cards which I still want to get rid of, but I would rather not draw into Lakeside Lady. So we're going to send her to the graveyard in order to set her up for later plays. Probably won't be able to use her, but one thing which we will be able to use is Rekindling. Rekindling is one of the key cards of the deck, a really awesome normal spell card. I can special summon as many level 4, not level 4 or lower, I can special summon as many fire monsters from my graveyard that have 200 defense and bring them to my field. It's pretty much free, and all of the cards which I'm going to bring back are tuners, which will allow me to do some really crazy chain synchro summoning in a second there. So bring back 2 copies of Handmaiden, 1 copy of Lakeside Lady, and also 1 copy of Red Resonator. Really love this card here, really love being able to recur all these monsters, and now Red Resonator will trigger, give me the ability to choose Laval Dragon, and then recover life points equal to that, and now we are on 10,300 life points. Now I'm going to look at my extra deck and think, what can I go into? I would like to bring out Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, but what I'm going to do first is get rid of my opponent's monster by summoning out Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend's effect is that once per turn during your main phase 1, you can destroy all other face up attack position monsters on the field, and so we'll get rid of Cannon Soldier there for free, and now we'll go into another special summon and bring out Abyss. Abyss with a level 1 tuner is a really awesome card. It's kind of a mini Quasar and allows me to do a whole load of effect negation quite for freely. It's not going to be done just yet though. I can do a bit more. Unfortunately, the Vile Volcano will miss the timing there. And so now we're going to activate Psyframe Lord Omega, and we are going to recover a monster which I used earlier in the duel here, Elder Entity Nordum. We're going to put that and Psyframe Lord Omega back into my extra deck, and then we are going to use Instant Fusion again in order to special summon Norden and make a play into doing some more recursion. So come out Norden. Now that Norden is special summon, I'm going to be able to special summon 1 level 4 or lower monster from my graveyard. I could go for a variety of different monsters here, really tons of little options here, but I want to particularly use the remaining tuners that I summoned with Rekindling on the field. So I'm going to bring out Laval Cannon as another level 4 option here, and I have 1 level 3 tuner and 1 level 1, so I can summon a level 7 monster, and I can also summon a level 5 monster. So the level 5 monster I'm going to go for is going to be TG Hyper Librarian. Always be careful with Elder Entity Norden. You don't want to take Norden off the field first, because then you lose the monster you summoned. So I went for Cannon first for that reason. Then we do TG Hyper Librarian. Volcano misses the timing again. And now we're going to go for a level 7. I could go for Crystal Wing. Crystal Wing would be really cool here, but I'm going to go for a level 7 instead. And there aren't really too many good level 7 options in this deck. I should maybe put Clearing Synchro in this deck here, but I'm probably just going to go for Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, just so I use up these monsters and send them to the field, to the graveyard. Now we're coming pretty much to the end of this duel. I can't attack this turn, but if I were able to, I would be able to destroy my opponent's life points quite easily. The only thing is that I use Hot Red Dragon Archie's effect, and therefore only he can attack that turn and my monsters can't. But what I will say is that my opponent is about to rage quit, and therefore that is how this video ends. But hopefully this has been interesting to some of you. Hopefully you've been able to see some of the power of Laval Resonators, and there will be a deck profile in the link in the description. Thank you very much guys for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.